For decades, the United States stood as the world's undisputed superpower, shaping global affairs after the Soviet Union's collapse. American influence stretched across continents, setting the tone for international politics, economics, and culture. From the halls of the United Nations to the streets of distant capitals, the US was the benchmark for power and prosperity. But in 2025, the landscape has changed dramatically. China has risen from a regional player to a global force, challenging America's dominance on nearly every front. Its rapid economic growth, technological advancements, and expanding military presence have shifted the balance of power, making the world more multipolar than ever before. This isn't a simple Cold War repeat, it's a complex rivalry, economic, technological, military, and diplomatic. Unlike the past, the US and China are deeply intertwined, trading partners and competitors at the same time, making their contest more unpredictable and far-reaching. The world watches with anticipation and anxiety as Washington and Beijing shape the 21st century. Every move, every negotiation, and every innovation sends ripples across the globe, affecting nations big and small. This contest affects us all, the goods we buy, the tech we use, and our national security. From smartphones to cars, from social media to energy, the choices made by these two giants influence daily life everywhere. Is this a peaceful transition of power, or the start of a new great power rivalry? The stakes are high and the outcome remains uncertain. The US still wields powerful advantages, alliances that span the globe, a network of partners, and a military presence on nearly every continent. Innovation, creativity, and culture remain at the heart of America's strength, drawing talent and ideas from around the world. China, meanwhile, moves with strategic focus, leveraging its economic might, investing in infrastructure, and expanding its influence through ambitious projects like the Belt and Road Initiative. The central drama of our time is unfolding between these two giants, as their ambitions and interests collide and converge on the world stage. To truly understand their competition, we must look past headlines and examine the real data, the underlying trends, and the decisions shaping our future. Are we witnessing China replace America, or are we entering a new era of shared power and cooperation? The answer will define the century. Let's find out. What does it mean to be a superpower today? The world has changed dramatically in the past few decades, and so has the definition of global power. In the 21st century, the idea of a superpower is more nuanced and multifaceted than ever before. In the 20th century, being a superpower was mostly about nuclear arsenals, massive armies, and the ability to project military force across the globe. The Cold War era was defined by a tense arms race and the constant threat of conflict. Now it's more complex. Today, a modern superpower must lead in three interconnected domains: economic strength, military capability, and global influence, often called soft power. Excelling in just one area is no longer enough. True power comes from a balance of all three. Economic strength is the foundation, a vast innovative economy that drives global trade, finance, and technological progress. The ability to shape markets and set trends gives a nation leverage on the world stage. This economic engine not only funds advanced military power, but also helps build international influence through investment, trade agreements, and development aid. Military capability is still crucial. Advanced technology, global reach, and strong alliances define a true military superpower. The ability to deter threats and protect interests worldwide remains a key pillar of power. But soft power matters too. The ability to attract, inspire, and persuade through culture, values, and diplomacy. Winning allies and shaping opinions can be just as important as military might. Movies, music, universities, and global media spread influence far beyond borders, shaping how people think and feel about a country. Cultural exports and educational opportunities build lasting connections. Leadership in international institutions and a reputation for reliability are key. Nations that help solve global problems and uphold international norms earn respect and trust. In today's interconnected world, winning hearts and minds can be as decisive as winning wars. Humanitarian efforts, cultural exchanges, and global cooperation all contribute to a nation's standing. To be a true superpower, a nation must excel in all three areas: economic, military, and soft power, while adapting to new challenges and opportunities. That's the standard by which we'll judge the US and China in the 21st century, as they compete for global leadership and influence. The most visible front in the US-China rivalry is the economy. This is where the two superpowers most directly compete, shaping the future of global prosperity and influence. The US has long led the world in GDP, global markets, and the dollar's dominance. Its financial institutions set the pace for international investment, and the American dollar remains the backbone of global trade. This economic power has underpinned American leadership for nearly a century, fueling innovation, military strength, and a lifestyle envied around the world. The US model of free enterprise and open markets has shaped the modern global economy. But China's rise is historic, lifting hundreds of millions from poverty and transforming itself into the world's largest economy by purchasing power parity. In just a few decades, China has built vast cities, modern infrastructure, and a manufacturing powerhouse. China is now the top trading partner for over 120 countries, surpassing the US at its peak. Its goods and investments reach every corner of the globe, making it a central player in international commerce. The competition isn't just about size but about growth and strategy. Both nations are racing to set the rules for tomorrow's economy, investing in new technologies and forging global alliances. China's state-led policies and long-term plans like Made in China 2025 aim for dominance in high-tech sectors. The government backs innovation in artificial intelligence, green energy, and advanced manufacturing, seeking to leapfrog traditional industries. The US still has deep capital markets, the world's reserve currency, and unmatched universities. Its culture of entrepreneurship and research continues to attract talent and investment from around the world. Yet China's scale and strategic focus give it powerful momentum. Its ability to mobilize resources quickly and set national priorities has accelerated its rise in key industries. The economic race is now a marathon, not a sprint. Both countries are in it for the long haul, adapting to new challenges and opportunities as the world changes. Both nations have unique strengths, and the outcome is far from certain. The balance of power could shift with each new breakthrough or crisis, keeping the world on edge. The world now watches two economic engines, not just one. Every policy decision, trade deal, or technological leap is closely scrutinized for its global impact. The stakes couldn't be higher. The outcome of this battle will shape not just the future of these two giants, but the destiny of the entire world economy. China's Belt and Road Initiative, launched in 2013, is a bold global infrastructure push, often called a modern Silk Road. Trillions are pledged for railways, ports, and telecoms in over 150 countries, connecting China to Asia, Europe, Africa, and beyond. For many nations, BRI offers vital infrastructure and economic growth, building goodwill and new dependencies. But critics warn of debt-trap diplomacy, lack of transparency, and environmental risks. Some projects benefit China more than local populations, raising concerns about sovereignty and fairness. Despite challenges, BRI is redrawing the world's economic map, placing China at the center. The US has struggled to match its scale and speed. The Belt and Road is China's long-term play for global influence, built with concrete, steel, and ambition. The US military remains the world's most powerful, with unmatched global reach and alliances. Its budget dwarfs all others, and its technology, from aircraft carriers to stealth jets, sets the standard. But China is closing the gap, especially in Asia. The People's Liberation Army has modernized rapidly, now boasting the world's largest navy by ship count. China's focus is regional, asserting control over the South China Sea and deterring US intervention near its shores. Advanced missiles and anti-access strategies are designed to keep US forces at bay. Both nations are racing for supremacy in hypersonics, AI, and space-based warfare. The US still leads in global power projection, but China's regional capabilities are formidable. The real difference, America's global strategy versus China's regional ambitions. Flashpoints like Taiwan make this rivalry especially tense. The US advantage is shrinking, and in Asia, China could soon be a peer competitor. The military balance is shifting, and the stakes are rising. The world is watching closely. Soft power, the ability to attract and inspire, has long been America's secret weapon. The American dream, Hollywood, and world-class universities have drawn people and ideas from everywhere. China is now investing heavily in its own soft power, Confucius Institutes, global media, and diplomatic outreach. It presents itself as a champion of development, offering aid without political strings. But China's authoritarianism, censorship, and human rights record limit its appeal, especially in the West. US soft power has also taken hits from political polarization and foreign policy missteps. Still, America's openness, innovation, and cultural dynamism remain strong magnets. The contest is between two models, America's open society versus China's state-led vision. Which will the world find more attractive in the years ahead? The answer will shape global influence for decades. The tech race may decide who leads the 21st century. The US has long been the innovation hub, home to Google, Apple, and a culture of risk-taking. China has transformed from imitator to innovator, with cities like Shenzhen and giants like Huawei and Alibaba. China leads in 5G, drones, and facial recognition, backed by massive state support. The US is fighting back with export controls and restrictions on Chinese tech firms. This has triggered a tech Cold War and a growing split between the two countries' tech ecosystems. America still leads in research and attracts global talent, but China's scale and speed are formidable. The world may soon have two technological spheres, one American, one Chinese. Whoever sets the standards will shape the future. Is China replacing the US, or are we entering a multipolar world? America's strengths, alliances, the dollar, and innovation remain unmatched. But the era of uncontested US dominance is ending. Power is now more distributed. The US and China are joined by the EU, India, Japan, and others. Middle powers have more agency, no longer forced to pick sides as in the Cold War. This new order is complex, marked by both competition and cooperation. On issues like climate change and pandemics, the US and China must work together. But on military, tech, and ideology, rivalry will persist. The future will be shaped by the interplay of several major powers, not just one. America must adapt, relying more on alliances and diplomacy. The world is now a contested arena, not a stage for a single superpower. The US-China rivalry will define the next decade, but it's not a simple handover of power. America's enduring strengths, innovation, military alliances, and culture remain formidable. China's rapid growth, strategic focus, and global initiatives like Belt and Road have changed the balance. The outcome depends on how each nation addresses its own challenges and adapts to a changing world. Perhaps the future won't be led by a single nation, but by the competition itself. This rivalry could drive progress, or risk conflict and instability. As global citizens, we must understand both sides and consider the world we want to build. The next chapter is being written now by Washington, Beijing, and all of us.